Alright, we're going to proceed here. Head on into the Foggy Bank. Hopefully we'll get some necklaces off these guys. And we're going to go into this entrance here because there's a devotion shrine down there. We just leveled up, and then you're just going to keep putting points in internal trauma until it's maxed out. Now look at the damage, 472. Wait till we get a better weapon. Remember, we're still on the level 5 weapon or whatever it is. Look how fast these guys go down. They just die right from that eternal trauma. Don't even worry about it. Oh, the Boots of Haste. Good. This should give us some movement speed. Movement speed and 2 resist. And it's even giving us the right damage type, so that's nice. This new feature here, move reagents to stash, that's part of 1.3. And you would think this sword would be an upgrade, but it's not. See that where it says 100% armor piercing? That means it's going to convert all your physical damage to pierce damage, and it'll be a big DPS loss if we equip that. These gloves here gives pierce damage, who cares, but the health and 2 resist, which is actually health and 4 resist, because when it says elemental, it's fire, cold, and lightning. See them all, they all increased in value there. So we got 2 devotion points. We're going to get Tortoise for our first one for a little extra defense. So that's done. Still hunting for some necklaces. Got that rift point. We got to go down this way here to get Madonna withered. You see how good Force Wave is. The bleed just kills everything. I had my experience potion. That'll help us level up. We should be 25 to almost 30 by the time we get to the end of Act 1 with that. And there, that quest is done. Tells us to return to Harmond. We'll actually go turn these quests in. If you know the act, you can play ahead of it, and kill stuff, and it'll give you credit. But for now, we'll just play the normal way. There, this guy gave us another quest to kill 2 more mobs. They're a little farther north. Yeah, Sybil, he didn't make it. Loss. He got possessed, but she's given us a necklace, so we'll use that for right now. It's this one. Yeah, we'll use this. See anything you like? Put it to good use. So we're still working on collecting necklaces, and we're journeying north. You gotta go all the way up to here. Carnage looked recent, and it just gave us another quest. Search for the caravan driver. So we'll explore around the caravan driver still looking for necklaces. So what's weird is this guy was captured and they just put him in a cage. And here you can go through the dialogue and either porting for free, or if you're low on iron, you can change options and he will pay you like 5,000 iron for the portal back to Devil's Crossing. Whatever you want to do on your playthrough. You're just starting out with a brand new character, that 5,000 iron would be helpful. Okay, we got 3 more points now. Look at our damage. It's over 600 now. And we're still on the first, we're still really on the level 1 weapon. I haven't gotten any necklaces yet. Usually I have those already. I don't have to go up this far. But you see Force Wave just hits everything. Totem over here. Let's go get that and see what drops. And you see how fast we leveled just there. Cool. 2 to Blitz. We'll do that later. This is a nice axe, even though it says 1 to 15 lightning, because Force Wave actually scales with casting speed. So that'll be nice. I don't think there's anything in here that we need. I think there's a boss in there, but we don't need him. But you know, I never go in here, so let's do that. This is a different cavern than where we were just at. There's no devotion shrine in here. There's like a bunch of poison guys and whatever they're called, beasts maybe, I'm not sure. Rift spawn they're called. Maybe we'll find a lore node down here someplace. Over 900 damage per second. Just a couple levels ago we were at, was it 150 or something with Force Wave and 300 with Fire Blast. first 15 points into physique, and then about the next 10 into comfort. And then from then on, it's whatever gear you find. And here's the boss. Forget what he actually is, what the story behind him is. Hopefully we'll find some lore notes to fill that gap, because I don't know what this guy does. So far he doesn't have any. Stalwart frame braces of balanced steel. Poison putrid necklace of butchery. Oh, and there's our third necklace we need. What's this weapon do? Oh, it was an amulet. Oh, okay. So it does some stuff with Iskandra's elemental exchange for the Arcanist and Blooded Drake for the Occultist. It looks like the butchery gives bleeding damage and +2 to Phantasmal Blade. That's a Nightblade thing. So this item is basically useless. Unless you're early on and you're one of those 3 classes that can use that. Then, you know, pull back on the cash register. But yeah, there's no lore note in here, and I'm sure it talks about it at some point. In one of these lore notes we'll find. What was this boss? I forget what the name of the guy was, though. But anyways, we got all this guy's necklaces, so let's go turn them in to this gentleman here. You just go to the White Mire Rift and go west, and then north. And he gave us a nice ring. This is a good ring early on. You basically get 5 resistances here. Poison and acid, that's only counted as 1 here. Vitality, and then fire, cold, and lightning for your elemental. So you're going to want to equip that. You always want to do this quest and then equip it when you can. Yeah, we want to keep this one because we found the +2 skills to Force Wave, which is what we're using. So here you see the +2 there. So that's giving you the extra 2 skill points. May as well sell while we're here. What's this? That's pretty much the same as what we got. Transfer the reagents. We have this, but we're not gonna +2 to fighting form. It's fighting form. Alright, that's a cadence skill. We're not gonna be using that skill yet. Walk back to the rift point here. Go back to our last teleport. I think we're pretty much done with here. It's a pretty short zone. We're going to go up here across this bridge and then go to the next area. For subsequent playthroughs, if you have dynamite, you can repair this bridge and go right into Burwitz, but for the playthrough I'm going to go the normal way. Plus there's a devotion shrine down here, and there is a monster infrequent necklace that I want to get. A lot of this stuff you won't actually use. You just sell it for iron at the vendor. Those are nice. 3 resist. And more armor. Here's a boss here. He'll go down pretty easily. Avoid his thunder attack. Avoid those meteors that he throws. There, I got some. And this is why we go Force Wave. This monster infrequent here, it adds 129 physical to Force Wave and gives +3 skills. So it's going to really increase our damage here. We're going to go from 866 to 1227. It's a big increase. And we got skill points, so we'll want to add 3 to the main Force Wave. You want to max internal trauma out first, then Force Wave, then Rending Force. In that order. Burwitch Outskirts. Here's a Burwitch reconnaissance report. Thalna's remains. So they must have not made it.
Oh, hello, traveler.
Here's a quest to go find a blacksmith. I think this is the group that that guy was with. So let's read that lore note. Right, so here's the recon report.
Burwitch Recon Report. I pray one of us makes it through this nightmare to deliver the report. The lives of those hiding in Devil's Crossing may depend on it. As instructed, my team has braved the wilderness of Whitemire and made it to the outskirts of Burwitch. The situation there is worse than we feared. We encountered no survivors. The ethereal takeover of the region is now complete. What we found baffling, however, is the heavy concentration of enemy activity within Burwitch itself. In our previous encounters with the ethereals, they seemed unfocused, spread out across the wilderness in no predictable pattern, but this seems almost deliberate, as if they were swayed to keep watch over something important. I regret to report that, without a larger force at our disposal, even breaching the city walls would incur heavy casualties and thin our already struggling ranks. While I understand completely that our situation is dire and we are desperate for a new source of supplies and food, I cannot recommend a direct engagement with enemy force at Burwitch. It is a suicide mission. We need to be prepared for the eventuality that the enemy gathered at Burwitch will mobilize upon Devil's Crossing. Should it come to that, we must be prepared to flee once more. Scout Thalna.
Wow, so this scout got this entire group of people to here, but somehow they didn't make it. It looks like they built up a fence of sorts to try to keep the people out, or the wandering dead out. So, but yeah, they didn't make it. Alright, now we gotta go rescue a blacksmith. Blacksmith later will assist you in crafting relics. Relics go in this slot right here. They don't drop from any monsters. We're not going to go there. That just takes you back to where you were. There is a strange key quest, but their mobs are too high level. how'd that miss him? There's a level up. Here's the blacksmith that we gotta get.
Move along now, stranger.
So Duncan is the other blacksmith, and this blacksmith, I guess they didn't get along. So now you're basically picking a side if you want to side with Angram, or you can side with Duncan. It doesn't so much matter in 2026, but years ago when this game first came out, you would get different crafting bonuses that actually mattered. It doesn't really matter so much anymore. So I always just side with Angram because he gives better defensive bonuses on the relic, which you'll see when we make one. But yeah, before the expansions came out, you would get better caster bonuses if you went with Duncan, and you still can, but they're just so irrelevant now it doesn't even matter. There was too much uproar in the forums about character diversity or something. I don't know. I don't pay attention to the forums. May have even been fixed while it was still in early access, I'm not sure. This entire Act 1 that we're playing through now was actually the early access, which is funded after their Kickstarter campaign. So yeah, if you didn't know that this game was originally a Kickstarter, and it got funded pretty good. And then once the development team finished Act 1, they made it early access on Steam. I think it was early access for a while. I don't really know how long without looking it up. Reach touch. Whatever it is, it won't be for anything we're going to use. Shoot me, I hear it. It's over there. Oh yeah? Okay, so this is for a necromancer and a nightblade. That makes you a reaper. This offhand is for Storm Totem, which is a shaman. That's pretty good if you're those classes early on. Now look at our damage, 1691. So now we're in the Moldering Fields. This is where we have to go to kill Balrose and Hagra. Where they come up with these names at, but why can't they be simple names, you know, like Joe and Steve? There they are up there. But sometimes you can find lore notes in these houses. Not that one, but sometimes you can. Not all of the lore notes are a standardized drop. Some of them are random drops off of mobs or chests. And there's also lore notes that drop specifically from certain chests, which I'll show you when we get to Act 5, which will be quite a ways away yet. And like I mentioned in the other part, I'm going to explore a lot of other areas that I don't really explore when I play through. There, that gave us almost 200 damage, and this also scales. Remember when I first picked it up it was 127, and now it's 143. So that also scales up. Got 3 points here, so 2 there, 1 there. So like I said, 15 points in physique to start out, and then the rest in cunning.